Hey guys, my name is Philip Krishnan and this is week 2 from the course Introduction to Music Production from Coursera. I'll be talking to you about how to add instruments, recording Midi, and quantizing in your DAW. In this case, I'll be using Ableton Live 9. And I'll also be talking to you about tracks, adding the instruments, setting the click, count off, and recording efficiently. So I'll just start off by playing a quick clip that I made this past week. Yeah. So right now it looks pretty simple. It seems like there's only 3 tracks, but if you expand everything, there's a lot going on, and that's the very crucial thing about DAW. It's always very important to organize because as you get more tracks, it starts to get really crazy. So now let's just start on a fresh new track. And so in Ableton Live, there's a lot of instruments that come loaded just with the product, and you can access those by clicking on Instruments, Instrument Rack, and you can see all of them. And usually I never use these instruments because I bought external instruments, basically instruments from other companies, not Ableton, such as Native Instruments and Quantum Leap, Goliath. But for simplicity's sake, since I know most of you guys won't have the exact same products as me, I'll start off with a simple drum set. So I'll just pause it. So to do so, first we have to insert a MIDI track. So to do that, you right click on this area right here and insert MIDI track. Now we just have to drag this kit right here to the MIDI track. And so now let's see how it looks. So as you can see, it's working pretty good. So now that we have our instrument, the first step we gotta do is make sure that we have a good timing. For me, I personally just set it to 90 beats per minute, and this is basically a metronome. It's always good to have a metronome on when you're recording because it keeps the timing, and it's usually impossible to be perfect on timing. So it's good to just have that on. And this little arrow right here basically enables you to count in. So if you want a 1 bar count in before you start, you just click this. I usually have a 2 bar count in. And so now we're basically ready to record. So we can just press stop, record, and after 2 beats it'll record. I'm really sorry for the tempo being really off, but that's due to the fact that I'm screen recording, so the latency is pretty bad, but I hope it still works out. So as you can see right now, this is session view, and to understand what the different sections mean, you basically just hover over something and it'll show right here in this corner right here. As you can see, if I click anywhere, it'll explain. This is basically the help window. So right now we're in session view, and if we click this right here, we're in arrangement view. And this is the recording I just basically did. So if you double click that, you have all the sounds right here, the score basically. And if you listen to it, let's see how it sounds. So it seems like everything's a little bit fast, so I'm just going to move everything to the right a little, just slightly. So it sounds alright, but it doesn't sound like it's on time. So what we should do is highlight everything, right click, and go to quantize settings. What this does basically is, if this setting right here, this is set to 100%, if you look at this kick drum right here, it would basically snap it to the grid. So this kick drum will line up with this line right here, this will line up with this, and of course it's whatever's closer. If this kick drum is closer to this line and this line, it'll snap to this line. But if it's set to 50% or whatever, 50%, then it'll basically go halfway in between this line and where it is right now. So I'll just set to 50% and hear how it sounds. So that's basically the basics of adding, recording, and editing a MIDI track. And I hope this video is helpful. And this video took quite some time to prepare because this is my first video lesson, and screen capturing was something that I never did before. So trying to figure out how to record from my mic and from Ableton at the same time took about 4 hours to figure out. But I hope it was worth it, and I hope some of you guys learned something new from it. Thanks.